Hello YouTube, it's me Brittany, and today we're going to talk about my 5.5 year checkup. I got my labs done, all types of things. We're going to tell you all about it. But before I do that, I want to thank every single one of you guys who've already been here and have already subscribed. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. If this is your first time watching, hit that subscribe button below so you can watch all my videos. I do all types of LGBT related things, lots of trans related things as you can see. And yeah, but you can't see any of that if you don't hit subscribe. Now, on to today's topic. Like I said, I had my 5.5 year checkup, and you're like, 5.5 year checkup? Why did we do that? Well, because my 5 year was in April, and apparently there was something going on at that time that kept me from being able to go to the hospital. So, we moved it all the way back to about 2 weeks ago, and they drew about 5 little vials of blood from this arm right here, and I was a super champ about it and walked home like with my Rice Krispie treat they gave me and was like, I can do this, 5 vials of blood, I got it, no problem. And yeah, but no, actually, I hate giving my blood, so, we made it through it. So they took 5 vials of blood. I spoke with my OBGYN, had my physical, all those things that need to happen, you know, and so this video is where we're going to kind of go over some of those lab results so that if you are, you know, in your first year of transitioning or your 8th year, whatever, and you're just kind of going, man, what should my levels be at, you know, maybe you can get a little information from here, because I'm going to kind of go over what my levels are and where I'm sitting in what it would be considered normal ranges for those estrogen or hormone levels. It's not just estrogen, we're going to look at testosterone and progesterone as well. So, first, you're probably being like, wait a minute, Britton, didn't you just say you go to an OBGYN? But you haven't had surgery yet. Why are you going to an OBGYN? And I'll tell you, because I'm getting ready for surgery. And so even though I have not had full surgery yet down there, an OBGYN actually does a lot more for female medical field than just the vagina. I go to an OBGYN as opposed to an endocrinologist because as my body and hormone levels have adjusted over the last 5.5 years on hormones, I've realized that an endocrinologist can no longer do anything for me. I know the hormones I need, and that's all an endocrinologist is going to be able to do, is teach me about the hormones. So they're really helpful in the first 1.5 and 2 years, and I recommend that if you're starting HRT, you need to look into getting an endocrinologist, not just not an OBGYN, not anything else. Look into getting an endocrinologist, because that's the doctor that's going to help you get through that first shift of your hormones in the first 1.5 years, where if you are male to female like myself, you are reducing your testosterone down from a 200 point something level down to around, you know, 25 and 20 range in that area, and then in the same 1.5 years you're increasing estrogen from a 20 to 25 area up to the 200 and 250 areas and stuff like that. So you need an endocrinologist to help you through that fluctuation process, because if you are not doing it incorrectly, it can actually be detrimental to your transition, your breast growth, your all types of things could just be affected if you're not being careful with your hormone levels and watching them. So if you're in your first year, 2 years, even your 3rd year, see an endocrinologist. After that, yeah, start seeing an OBGYN. Even if you aren't ready for surgery, she's gonna understand your female body now better than you do, and it's her job. I'm saying her because mine is a female. And also, for me as a trans woman, I have questions. I mean, this is all new. Lots of body things are happening to my body that have never happened in the first 30-some years. So I like having a doctor who can help understand and explain what's happening to me. So I see an OBGYN, just a normal physical minus the forceps thing, I guess, because I don't have a vagina yet, but maybe one day. Yeah, $17,000 away. We're gonna get there. But until then, we're just really, really happy with where we're at, because it turns out that after all my 5 vials, I got my results about 3 or 4 days ago, and I'm fucking healthy as fuck. Like, I don't know what the hell I did, but I'm amazing. My estrogen level is like 261, which is perfect, because it's like right in the middle of a normal range for a cisgendered woman going through a ovulation period. So a cisgendered woman's hormone levels, or any normal woman, I guess, any regular woman, you know, a cisgender, transgender woman, their hormone levels, if they were non-ovulating, would sit somewhere between 187 to 382. So where I sit at 261 just kind of says that I'm like right smack dab in the middle. My hormones not too high, my hormones aren't too low. I don't really need to make any adjustments with my estrogen, and we are not. We're actually not going to make any adjustments with what my prescription is. So you guys have seen I take 1 milligram a shot a week, and I'm just going to continue to do that. It's not going to need to change because my levels have basically just leveled to be normal. Now I do go through period-like symptoms where that 261 probably jumps up to maybe around a 380 at some point, but not very high. Whereas, you know, cisgender women who ovulate, you know, can get up to 800 and 900 during, you know, ovulation. So like I don't experience periods like a cisgendered girl, but I do have period-like symptoms when my hormone levels fluctuate up into a high range in that same area. Now, luckily, whenever I was getting my stuff done, I was nowhere near that, and I knew that, so like I knew I was gonna have a good check. And so my estrogen sits really good, and then my progesterone is just right there as well, same right there in the middle. So I sit at 1.3 for progesterone, and then the average range, same well for a non-ovulating woman, is going to be 0.4 to 4.4. So like maybe I'm a little low, but we don't really want to adjust it because the progesterone for me is really just more for my breast growth, and it has done wonders for growing my breasts. You know, I think I started progesterone a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years I think now almost, and I've definitely seen almost a full cup size growth in my breast in that short period of time, whereas in the first 3.5, 4 years of transitioning, it felt like they were never going to go anywhere. So if you are in your second year of transitioning and you're like, why are my boobs growing? Look into adding progesterone into the mix of your hormone regimen, and you'll see that breast growth start to happen. It doesn't happen for all girls, but happens for a lot of girls. So just something to look out for if you are, you know, at that level of your transition and going, why are my boobs not growing? And then you're going, oh, well, I'm only taking estrogen and a testosterone blocker. Well, maybe you don't need the testosterone blocker anymore, so substitute it with something else like progesterone, which is what I did. So I stopped taking testosterone blockers about 2.5, 3 years ago because I just don't need it, because my testosterone never fluctuates at a high level. I think this lab reading right here for this checkup is probably the highest I've seen my testosterone in the last 4 years, and it's only at a 27.5, which is still on the low end of the spectrum for a normal girls' hormone level. So all girls have testosterone, cisgendered or transgendered, all of them have testosterone in their systems. It normally sits anywhere from 5 to about 77. So like a 27.5 where I am is really kind of on the lower end of that spectrum. But like I said, that is a high number for me. I think the last time I had my readings done a year and a half ago, I was at like 19 something. So but I'm not fluctuating. I'm not going to start taking a testosterone blocker or anything. Like, that's normal hormonal fluctuations that are happening within my body, and as long as that number is not fluctuating extremely high, like if that number would have been somewhere in the 60s, then I would have been saying, hey, let's maybe add a testosterone blocker back in for maybe not like an everyday one, but maybe once or twice a week. Let's pop a testosterone blocker pill just to kind of like push that number back down a little bit. But like I said, apparently I'm extremely fucking healthy. So like I said, I hope this video was helpful in any form of way. I really just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information about, you know, what my hormone levels are, and how that counterbalances, and maybe how it might affect you if you are in your transition. Like I said, I hope it's helpful, you guys. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Brittany Rose. Twitter is at Brittany Rose 2. Yeah, be safe out there, everybody. It's a rough week here in America. Bye.